Hi angels, welcome to Earth Angel Energy. I'm the Earth Angel, and today I'm bringing you another pick a card reading, and today's topic is what assumptions do people make about you? What are people assuming about you? And I have to say, all three piles are different, but it's all really good energy, so I'm super excited to share these messages with you, and I have three piles for you. Pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So go ahead and take a second, see which pile resonates with you, and we can go ahead and get started. Hi, pile 1. So if you chose the first pile, then this is your reading on what do people assume about you? What are people assuming about you? What assumptions are people making about you? Right off the bat, I'm seeing someone very blessed, very comfortable here. I'm definitely seeing that people assume that you're quite popular, that you have a good social circle here. Now with the 7 of Wands, and I've gotten a similar energy like this in the past, where I feel like people assume that you have people who want to be close to you, you have people who want to be near you, spend time with you, but it's almost like more than you can handle here. So for instance, if people see you out and about by yourself, or maybe with just one person, I don't know why they're making this assumption, and this could be people close to you, but there's an assumption that people like to hang out with you, that people like to spend time with you, that you could have a pretty busy schedule here. People also assume that you're very, very blessed. So the Ace of Pentacles, the 4 of Wands, and the 6 of Pentacles, that you're well taken care of. There's something here about people assuming that you have a good support system. So I don't see that anybody thinks that you are just like on your own. Maybe some of you are, but there is a sense here of people assuming that there's a lot of people around you who care about you and support you. And I'll be honest, even if you do feel like you are alone, you're not. God is helping take care of you. So don't ever think that you're alone. Now with the 3 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles, people could also assume that you're quite generous here, that you work well with others. Some people could assume you have a very nice home. I do want to see the 6 of Swords, but I am getting a sense here that people also assume that you enjoy your alone time. Like you enjoy spending time with others, but you also enjoy your alone time. You could also be a very peaceful person as well. People are assuming that you're really easy to get along with, especially if they interact with you. See what else here. Yeah, people are definitely assuming you come from a good home as well too, or you have family that helps take care of you or just raised you really well. You have good manners, really good manners, very kind, very warm, but good judgment as well. Like you seem warm, you seem easy to get along with, but there's also a sense here of people also feeling like you wouldn't be easy to get one over on. Like you seem discerning, you seem intelligent. Let's see what else we have. This is really nice so far, Pawan. On the top of the deck, oh yeah, we have the Tower, Page of Pentacles, and the 7 of Swords. What's there on the bottom? And the 10 of Wands. Whoa. 8 of Cups, the Death, and the Page of Cups. Wow, it's interesting. There's like a strong energy, but a gentleness to it. Yeah, and with the 7 of Wands and the 6 of Swords, you do seem like the type, though, where you're nice to be around, you're good to be around, but you're not afraid to end a relationship or a connection if you need to. People kind of assume that they need to treat you with a certain level of respect here. Yeah, Queen of Cups, very loving though, very warm. But once again, like, so the Queen of Cups especially is still a queen. This is someone who has a warm heart, who has an open heart, but knows how to protect that heart at the same time. And like, even if you imagine, I'm sure you've seen maybe like in film or TV or even just people that you know, like characters like this who are warm, who are loving, but at the same time, you can kind of tell that maybe they have some street smarts or they have good common sense. You don't get to this level of openness if you don't know how to protect that. Yeah, but still very open, very lighthearted. I think it's the way you carry yourself too. You definitely, I heard regal. There's like some sort of regal energy to you as well. Yeah, you also look very youthful though, Page of Pentacles. People could assume you're a lot younger than you are though. But at the same time, the way that you carry yourself kind of shows, yeah, Temperance, very balanced. You have a very balanced energy, Pile 1. Like you're warm and you're open, but you still know how to protect yourself. You're generous, but you're still discerning. You have a level of seriousness to you and responsibility, but at the same time, you're warm and you're light and you're fun. Very balanced. Anything else? I feel like a lot of people actually admire you a lot or would like to be close to you. Page of Wands here. People definitely assume you're younger than you are. People could also assume you're multi-talented here. So for instance, if like people know you and they know maybe one thing that you're good at, they're assuming that that's not just the one thing that you're good at here. What else? We have the Knight of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, Five of Pentacles in reverse. With the Four of Pentacles. So I will say this, and I think this is sort of the other side of that really positive energy. Because even though people are making good assumptions about you, not everyone is necessarily in a good energy. So they're not going to be able to see this good energy as clearly as they would if they were also in a good energy, if that makes sense. So for instance, if you're in a bad energy, but you see someone very beautiful, it's going to be very hard for you to be like, wow, that person's beautiful. You might be like, oh, that person, you know, thinks they're so great. And there are people like that. But what I'm seeing here is there could be some people who are assuming that with the Five of Pentacles in reverse and the Four of Pentacles, so we have the Three of Cups and we have the Three of Pentacles. So you do have people around you. You like being with people. You like spending time with people. You have friends. You like having fun. But people kind of assume that the foundation of a lot of your friendships is based on networking. Whether it's coming from similar backgrounds, coming from similar work environments, people who have similar interests. There's something here about people assuming that with the Judgment and the Six of Swords, like you are discerning when it comes to friendships. Oh, with the Five of Pentacles in reverse and the Four of Pentacles, I'll be honest. People could assume that you're like generous, but you're generous only up to a certain point. Like for instance, if you had a friend who just like always needed something from you, or always, you know, had some issue or something that they needed help with, people kind of assume that you wouldn't just be that friend who's like, you know, if someone's like, can I stay on your couch for 6 months? People are assuming you would not be down for that. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, King of Pentacles to the Justice. Like, you're very serious about your money. Oh, with the Queen of Cups. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're very loving. You're very open with... Okay, people think you're very open with your emotions, but you're not as open with your finances. But you're very warm. You're very loving. You're very kind. But people just kind of feel like they can't really go to you for money like that. Wow, Two of Cups. People could also assume either you're in love or a lot of people are in love with you. Yeah, with the Eight of Swords. People could assume that you have a lot of people who are like in love with you, but like secret admirers or can't be with you for whatever reason. And I'll be honest, because I'm getting a lot of Pentacles here, people could assume that there's people who are in love with you but can't be with you because they don't have the finances. And that doesn't even necessarily have to be true. But that's what people are assuming. That in order to be with you or to have you love them back, they would have to bring a certain level of finances here. King of Swords of the World. So a specific person could be assuming this. There could also be a King of Cups here who's assuming that you're happy without them, or that you are the one for them and that you would make them happy. I'm also saying a King of Swords here, so that water sign masculine could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, who's assuming either that you have someone that you're happy with, you're gonna get settled down, or that you are the one that would make them happy. We also have a King of Swords here, so it could be Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. And this person could assume either you're moving or the cycle with you is completely over. A Magician. Whoa, the Devil, the Three of Swords. Whoa, the Six of Wands. Okay. There's definitely some King of Swords here who's assuming that you are happy without them. And that you're happy to move on with your life. And like, that's that. But for both of these masculines, there could be, if they're not connecting with you or they're not connected to you, there is some sort of assumption here about finances. Let's see. King of Wands here. Yeah. So King of Wands. Let's see what the King of Wands is. Yeah, there could be some masculines from your past. This King of Wands to you is... Yeah, there's the Swords, the Eight of Cups, and the Sun. Okay. Either you walked away from a King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or some people from your past think you're connecting with a King of Wands. And that's why you were able to walk away from some people from the past, like, happily. Oh my gosh, I don't know why. There's definitely some people from your past who are like devastated and honestly want to fight someone that you might be connected to. If you're connected to someone, oh my gosh, the Emperor. Empress in reverse with the four. You know what? Oh my gosh. Okay, what is this reminding me of? Do you ever see that phenomenon where someone is single and then people are like, oh, like, I'm not really interested, and then they get in a relationship and then a bunch of people want them? For some of you, you could have gotten into like a new relationship or a new connection with someone, or you will. And there's people from your past who, for whatever reason, this is an Empress in reverse. So you were the Empress this whole time. But for whatever reason, like, they didn't. But now that, like, someone has claimed you, or they feel like someone has claimed you, they're like, wait. What is going on here? Three of Swords. What? And if there's some people from your past, if you're connecting with someone now, people from your past feel like it would be really, really hard to get you back from this person. I heard for some of you, people from your past assume that the person you're with now, if you're with someone, could like beat them up or like makes way more money than him, or comes, I meant to say them, but I said him. Someone in particular thinks that your person, if you're with someone, could either beat them up or has way more money or comes from like a wealthy family or something. Yeah. People are assuming that you are happy with where you're at right now. If you're with someone new, if you're looking for someone new, you're totally happy with that. You're ready to move forward. You're in love. People feel like you are just happy. People assume that you're happy, that you're in love, that you're excited for the future, that you're excited for everything new, and that whatever's in the past is in the past, that you're good to go. The High Priestess. People could also be assuming that you are still hiding some details about your life, but it's like good details. It's kind of that principle of when people don't want to share too much about their life because they don't want to jinx it, or things are so good, that they would rather just enjoy it for themselves and not, put too much out there. People are just assuming that you're so busy loving your life and living your life that anybody else is on the outside is just on the outside, and that's it. Beautiful energy, pile one. That's what I have for you. Really, really nice. Definitely some specific scenarios in there, and it's unfortunate for those people, but I do see that you're in a really good energy and you're going to be moving into an even better energy. Just kind of stay the course, be optimistic and grateful for what you do have, and I see that more good is going to continue to come for you. That's what I have for you, pile one. Beautiful energy. So I do hope this resonated, and I hope this is helpful for you. You can feel free to check out one of the other piles if you're curious. You can watch one of my other videos, and you can always book a personal reading with me. But thank you so much, and until I see you next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless you. Hi, pile 2. So if you chose a second pile, then this is your reading on what assumptions do people make about you, what are people assuming about you. Great energy. Now, pile 2. People are just assuming that you have a great life. I mean, it's just great energy across the board. The nice thing though is I feel like, so we'll get into the details about the nice things about your life that people are assuming, but I see the basis of it, the core of it is that people feel like the good things in your life right now, like you deserve it, you've earned it. There's something about you where I heard they spoil themselves. So people feel like if you're doing well for yourself, if you're comfortable, if you're happy, that it's because you've created that for yourself. Like, you're known as someone who is pretty forthright, pretty hardworking. Definitely with the Justice, people feel like you have a very strong moral character and a moral backbone. People are assuming this. People also assume that you say what you mean, that you speak the truth here. You're also known as someone who kind of like will say the right thing and who believes the right thing. The best friends, people also assume that you have really good friendships. I feel like your friends also assume a lot of really good things about you. Still a lighthearted energy here with the Fool. You seem adventurous. People assume that you're always doing new things, having a lot of fun. You also seem very healed though, very healing energy, very gentle. People assume that you're a very balanced, healed, genuine person, very genuine. With the Nine of Pentacles, people are definitely assuming that you have very good finances, that you take good care of yourself. But once again, I'm getting like a self-made energy. So there is a sense here of, if you dress well, if you carry yourself well, if you have nice things, people feel like you created that for yourself. It's very admirable energy. People assume you're a very good communicator. People also assume that a lot of people like to communicate with you, that you have a lot of good, strong relationships in your life. people could either be assuming that like you have a pet or that you take very good care of your pet. Why did I hear with the bag on the Fool? This is so random, but I'll just say it. If any of you carry like luxury items or like very high quality items, people assume that either like they are authentic or they're very nice quality. So for instance, if you have like nice clothes, people assume that they're made out of good fabrics. Some of you, I'm hearing people think that your clothes are tailored. For some of you, you do get your clothes tailored. For others of you, you just know how to buy clothes that fit your body really well. Very intelligent, just really nice energy. I'm even feeling the energy. It's very high level. People really notice you. People assume that like you're the real deal here. You definitely stand out in a really significant way. Oh, I'm also getting intuitively, for people you're closer to, they assume if you talk about them, like you don't gossip, you don't say like mean things or anything. Like you're not really the, people also kind of know you as not the kind of person who's going to be like, you know, talking badly about people or gossiping about people. People trust you, which is why I think for a lot of you, you'll notice people will tell you more intimate details about their life because they know that you're not going to just like share their business with everyone. This is a really good energy, and I feel like you've been working towards this energy. It's fabulous. King of Cups, once again. People could also assume either you're very loving, you're very loved, or they assume that you have someone who really, really loves you here. So if you have a partner or someone you're connecting with, people assume that your person really, really loves you. Oh, it's so nice. So under the King of Cups, we have the Two of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles here. I'm curious about the Two of Swords, but so far it's still really good. People assume that you're balanced, that things usually work out really well for you. You seem like a very balanced and victorious person. Let's get the Two of Swords. Two of Swords, please. Ace of Swords. Oh, that's why though. Okay. And I think that's why you have such a beautiful energy though. People do assume that, and I don't know if this is part of the assumptions, but this is just a separate assumption here. You're in such a good balanced energy, but like all things, it's something you have to curate. It's something that to a certain extent you have to protect your energy in order to be in this good energy. So people do assume that in order to be near you, in order to be close to you, they also have to be in a similar energy. And if you feel like someone is not in alignment with you, I heard there's no second chances. Now, you do have people from your past that you reconnect with. You do have people from your past that you're still close to, but not everyone. And people kind of know that. And there's a sense here of you being very gentle about it. You being, you know, you're not going to like yell at people. You're not going to cuss people out. You just kind of very gently, for some of you, you don't even like really like say like don't talk to me, or like you just kind of gently detach from people. For some people, like they're still not even sure like if they're on your good side or your bad, so you just don't address it or don't acknowledge it. A very peaceful energy. But I think that's why. So if there's ever been conflict, or if someone's ever tried to like say like, oh, I'm against pile 2 or something, people kind of feel like people have one-sided beef with you. Like, people feel like you don't have beef with anyone. So if people have beef with you, they're kind of just, people assume just because you never address that kind of thing, that people are just, like, jealous or toxic. Like, I'll be so honest, because your energy is so clear with that justice there, like, firmly planted, and the Star. The Five of Wands with the Temperance. People assume that if people are trying to fight you, or if people gossip about you or talk about you, it's one-sided as like, I wanted to say one-sided as just because you don't address it. And I highly recommend if someone tries to bring beef to you or conflict to you, just don't address it. If someone's trying to fight you, that's below you. You don't need to fight battles with anybody. Like, who even is this? Because your energy, like, there's no conflict at all whatsoever. Yeah, Ace of Cups. You seem so loving. People assume that you're just very loving. For some of you, you do have a relationship with God, and people know this. I heard for some of you, you have some sort of outward symbol or indication of your religious belief. People believe that you adhere to that and that it works really well for you. You seem very blessed with that Ace of Cups. And very loving, very kind. Wow, the High Priestess and the Two of Pentacles and the Moon. But I think that's what's so interesting here, is it's almost, I can feel the energy, so I'm not gonna say like, oh, it's too perfect. But to other people, just because it is so good, there's almost this sense of like people wondering if there's something more beneath the surface. Just because your energy is so upright, it's very elegant, very like refined, but at the same time not overdone. It's just your energy, and you can dress anyway, you can act anyway, you can talk anyway, but the way that you carry yourself with your head held high. And people kind of wonder, especially too, because if there is conflict, yeah, Wheel of Fortune, you're very lucky too. And I think actually kind of floating above the fray is helping you. I think you've kind of learned that too. I think you've learned how to ride that kind of energetic wave. But with the High Priestess, the Two of Pentacles, and the Moon, people do assume that, like, why do they not talk about this conflict? Especially if somebody has, like, beef with you, or, like, is just like, oh, pile 2 doesn't talk to me anymore, pile 2, this, that, and the third. People kind of wonder, like, why this is. Like, either why someone is, like, trying to come for you and you just, like, don't care. I mean, people can see why you wouldn't care. It seems like your life is really good and you just don't have time. But people can't help but be curious, you know what I mean? But it does kind of seem like that one-sided beef thing where someone might be a little fixated on you because you have a lot of good qualities here, and that's what people are assuming. But people do wonder, like, is there another side to pile 2? Like, is there something that pile 2 doesn't share? And that's why they kind of have this very, like, clean-cut image here. The Four of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Strength, I'll be honest too, people do feel like you either manifest or you ask God for things, or you can just kind of make things happen for yourself. The Four of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. People definitely assume that, like, God goes hard for you, especially if people know that you have some sort of religious belief. People assume that God really will, like, take care of whatever issue is presented to you. And I feel like you've learned that too, that you really rely on him, as you should. And I think you show a lot of gratitude and a lot of thankfulness for the ability to just kind of live your life, be grateful for the things that you do have. If there are challenges, if there are hardships, you know you're not alone, and you know that you can lean on him for that. All right, final cards for pile 2. Five of Pentacles to the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, again, there is someone who has, like, a one-sided beef with you. They probably haven't even brought this to your attention. Maybe you know. But, like, this person doesn't really, like, confront you. But there are people, like, around you who know that someone kind of has, like, a beef with you. But they literally feel that the reason this person feels this way is because, number one, you don't give them attention. And they feel like this person feels, like, either less than or envious. There's something here about this person. People feeling like this person just feels lacking in comparison to you. And I almost feel like because you don't address the conflict, because you don't address this person's energy, like, it's making it even worse. The fact that you, like, either ignore this person, don't care for this person. Eight of Swords. People are assuming that there's at least one person who's kind of, like, obsessed with you, trapped by you, especially if you left someone or disconnected from someone and then they started to get kind of messy. I just heard messy when it came to you. People are assuming that that's the reason why. Because you are so focused on the good things in your life, and you just saw this person as not in alignment with you, not in alignment with, you know, kindness, balance, success, warmth, just a negative person all around, and you're more focused on what's ahead than what's behind you. And you definitely don't like to fight. Like, I'm getting that people assume that you just would rather work with people than fight with people, and if someone wants to fight with you, they're not going to be near you. Okay, that's what I have for you, pile 2. Yeah, Seven of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. And I'll be honest as well, too. People are also assuming that you either have a lot of options, a lot of people are interested in you, or you could make someone an option if you wanted to. But I don't think that's what you're focused on here. Especially if, with the Nine of Pentacles, if people think you're either single, or if you haven't fully shown, like, your partner, people could either be assuming that you have a lot of options, or that you're still open. But I think that's more so just coming from the fact that you do have a certain level of privacy when it comes to your personal business. I don't think that you would ever do something like that. I also would not recommend trying to take someone else's partner. Please don't do that. But I think that's just kind of a more lower vibrational assumption that people make. But I don't think that that's you. I don't think that's something you're even interested in. But beautiful energy. That's what I have for you, pile 2. So I do hope this resonated, and I hope this was helpful for you. You can feel free to check out one of the other piles if you would like. You can watch one of my other videos, and you can always book a personal reading with me. But thank you so much, pile 2, and until I see you next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless you. Hi, pile 3. So if you chose a third pile, then this is your reading on what do people assume about you, what assumptions are people making about you. Okay, so right off the bat with this Hierophant and the Ten of Pentacles in the middle, people either assume that you're married, you're getting married, you will get married, or you will have a very advantageous marriage financially, or you do have an advantageous marriage financially. Now, with the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Wands in reverse, I do see that people also could assume that you have to kind of fight off a lot of advances that are not necessarily marriage material, if that makes sense. People could assume that you're quite popular either with like the opposite gender or potential partners here, but you're really discerning. Yeah, Knight of Wands in reverse. I'm gonna be honest, people assume that you do not sleep around, that you do not I just heard people assume you have a low body count, but I think it's because you project an image of being very marriage minded here. Yeah, with the Justice and the Hangman, people say you're highly intelligent. You're very good when it comes to planning your life, making good investments. Oh yeah, I'm definitely hearing that people also assume that you're going to be quite well off here. The Hanged Man and the Justice. People also assume that you take your time making decisions. Yeah, you're not a hasty person. People assume that if they're asking you like to go do something or asking you to take part in something, that they have to tell you in advance. Like, people assume that you don't just kind of make last minute decisions, that you really take your time. The Hierophant and the Ten of Pentacles, the Justice. People also assume that if they're investing in you, whether it's monetarily, time, energy, that it's a good investment. People assume that you're a good investment and that you make good investments. Yeah. Especially if some of you are not married yet, people are assuming that you're waiting for a really good partner, that you're not just going to marry anyone. Yeah, the Hierophant and the Justice. If you have a religious belief and people know about it, people assume that you are very connected to God, very connected to the divine. And that's a really, really strong foundation for you in terms of your morals and your beliefs. People assume you're very enlightened, you're very intelligent. People could assume you're very educated, I heard, or have like an expensive education. So for some of you, you have a degree or have some sort of higher level of education. What else do we have? Two of Swords. Yeah, you're a little, I don't even want to say blocked off, but you are not afraid to block someone from your energy if need be. People assume that there's a high barrier of entry to be close to you. Like, they need to be a good person, they need to be stable, they need to be intelligent, they need to have a connection with God. And this is what people are assuming. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. People are also assuming that you're very well off here. Very financially stable. Ace of Cups. Ooh, with the Seven of Swords and the Tower? People could assume that you have learned that, okay, I heard not all love is the same, and that love is not your only factor when it comes to a partner or a connection. Because let's be honest, even toxic people, even evil people are capable of love. I think you know that. There's a sense here of people knowing that you have learned to be discerning, that even if you love someone, you still need to look at other factors. Do they respect you? Are they kind? Are they loving? Do they have a relationship with the divine? Really kind of ticking off all those boxes instead of just love. Yeah, the Queen of Cups though. But people assume you're very loving. Like, you actually have a lot of love in your heart. But you've built up a really good support system for yourself mentally. I'm hearing that one Dua Lipa song, New Rules. So for some of you, you've had like a big change where you're focused a lot more on stability, consistency, someone being there for you and not just you loving them or like wanting to be with them in an intimate way. And I'll be honest with you as well. If for some of you, you're kind of wanting to go on that journey of looking for a more committed relationship where someone's there for you, where someone takes you seriously, you can still have love and great intimacy with someone who's actually committed to you. I promise it'll probably be even better. Okay, let's get some more. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles, very blessed though. You seem very blessed. You're doing great financially. People could also assume that you have a really good time, either like making money. Yeah, like you have a really easy, I wasn't gonna say easy, but I did say it. People could assume that you find it easy to make money, or you found additional ways to make money that are easier for you. People assume you don't have to break your back to get the finances that you have. Six of Wands, a very successful, victorious person. Ooh, people assume with the 5 of Wands to the 6 of Wands. So even in times that are like stressful or difficult situations, people feel like you're always able to find a way. I heard a way when there's no way. So there could be a situation where people are freaking out. They're confused. What do I do? This is so stressful. This is so scary. But you're able to find like either advantages in a situation or the upside to a situation. Wow, the 4 of Wands. Again, there's something here about if there's like conflict or stress, you're known as the person who always can like come out on top in a situation, or who finds like the advantages in a situation. You're really, really good at making lemonade out of lemons. Okay, I just keep getting this example, and I know this is kind of extreme, but it's like, it reminds me, say, for instance, of like a famous bridge collapses, and you know, the people who will go and pick up the rubble and like sell it online. It's not saying that that's what you've done, but there's something here where people are kind of like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Whatever are we gonna do? And you see the way to make it work for you. Yeah, 3 of Swords to the Ace. 3 of Swords to the Strength to the Ace of Wands. You could even be one of those people, and especially nowadays, and we can talk about this as well too, because I would like to talk a little bit more about the future of the world, the future of humanity, and why I personally am not a defeatist. I certainly don't believe that this is the end of the world, and I certainly don't believe that this is the end of the human race. I think we have many thousands of years to go, and I think that the human race will be prosperous in the future. So if there's anyone who's like, you know, the world is ending and this is the end, it's not true. It's just not true. But you might be known as one of those people where everyone is talking about how this is the end of things, that we've reached the end, but you just don't believe that. And you also see how even in the most pessimistic or dire of circumstances, it could turn out well. But I also think that if you don't, I mean, I would be shocked if this was your energy and you didn't have a connection with God, because we have so many aces here, and the Justice and the Hierophant here. You really do have a very strong faith, but people also see that it worked out really well for you as well. Ooh, why was this one turned over? Wow, 6 of Cups to the 8 of Wands here. And the Judgment. Okay, really interesting, but since we're getting into more of like an esoteric energy as well, people could also assume that if people believe in like reincarnation or old souls, people definitely believe that you've been here before. I hear you've been like this your whole life, you know, very... There is a serenity to you, but there's a sense of... I like to talk about this when I talk about, you know, past lives and reincarnation. And one interesting thing is studying history, learning about history, how difficult it was to live throughout history, you know, how dire the circumstances were, and how nowadays, even though we all have our own problems in the modern age, it's still, for most people, much better standard of living than we've ever had throughout human history. And I think for a lot of you, I think that whether you know it or not, if you had some past lives, this is part of that energy of you seeing the optimism and seeing the promise and the goodness in the world now, because your soul remembers what it was like 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, where life was not this comfortable. There was not these kind of opportunities or education or equality. And so you have a very hard time focusing on all the negatives because you see so many positives. But that's another thing I like to talk about as well, just because there's so many people on the planet now. There's so many new souls who don't have that memory, who don't have that remembering. So people kind of feel like you stand out in that way. They're like, how are you not afraid of AI? How are you not afraid of war? Because it's going to be okay. I feel like you just know that, you feel it. And as you continue to develop that relationship with God, you'll feel it. And there's a lot of history left for us. I know there's some people who definitely like to claim, you know, I know when the world's going to end, and that. No, not yet. Not yet. Also, time works differently for God and the divine as well too. So it can feel like a long time for us, but it's a split second for them. So I think that you're really riding this wave right now. I know this one got kind of lofty, but this is definitely for the old souls. This is definitely for people who have been delving more into that spiritual side. Some of you as well are earth angels, and you do remember what it was like in heaven. You came back down here to help out, and this is kind of the energy you need to be in. You have to be that light. You can't, I don't even think you really want to delve into pessimism, because once you really have that connection with the divine, God will just let you feel how things are going to be, and it's not going to be hellfire and brimstone, not anytime soon. But I think it also takes people having that optimism, having that faith. I think for a lot of you, yeah, you're working on your finances, you're working on your stability, maybe you're setting up a legacy for your family, you're wanting to build things for your loved ones, and you're also trying to help the world. But I also think that a lot of you have been kind of delving into these more esoteric, spiritual, divine questions, really getting not only into your 3D reality, but also delving into your soul. And I feel like people assume, especially if you've talked about it or people kind of know that you have some sort of spiritual life or spiritual way of being, people do assume that you have delved pretty deep into that you are very spiritually ascended. People assume that you know a lot of the secrets, the mysteries. You have that connection. People kind of assume you have the spiritual answers here. And I always tell people, if they're like, what is that? What is spiritual life? What are the answers? What are the secrets? God. That's it. That's the secret. And then the further you develop that relationship, the further you get close to him, the more he'll reveal all the complexities of that. But if you're ever wondering, how do I build my spiritual life? How do I maybe delve onto the path of becoming an earth angel? It's very simple. Develop a relationship with God. Read your Bible. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on others. And have faith and optimism for the future. That's it. And try to shine light wherever you can. Show people kindness. Show people love. Even if it doesn't seem like it fits in your reality. Even if everybody else is angry. Even if everybody else is pessimistic. You're not like everyone else. And you go to people where they are. Show them love. Give them a smile. Of course, protect yourself. Be discerning in your situation. If someone, is acting crazy, of course, you can take a step back. But I feel like for a lot of you, you're on this spiritual journey. I think you're being materially rewarded and taken care of. I feel like for a lot of you also, you're getting to a point where you're putting in so much spiritual energy and work that God is making sure that your finances and your loved ones' finances are taken care of. You're not going to have to put in a humongous amount of work to take care of yourself, because you really are putting in so much spiritual work. God wants to make sure that you have the energy and the space to really kind of dedicate yourself to this. And for some of you, it looks very different. For some of you, maybe you are readers, or you have a spiritual practice. For some of you, you do volunteer work, you help your community, you help your loved ones, you minister to others, you speak to others. And I feel like there's a big connection here that a lot of people are assuming, that there's a connection with your spiritual life and your spiritual identity and the elevation and the smoothness of your life. And I do see kind of the individual components here, or like with the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Wands, or the Nine of Wands and the Knight of Wands in reverse. People are assuming, interesting that I said the Nine of Wands in reverse though, as well. So, for instance, one of the components could be that with that Knight of Wands in reverse, that you don't, sleep around, and it's because of your spiritual elevation. But I accidentally said the Nine of Wands in reverse. So I'm also seeing here too that people do assume that you've been through a good amount to get where you are, whether it's your accomplishments, your level of serenity, your maturity. People feel like you've definitely been through some things in life to get you to that place, but now you're at that place. And it feels like this Nine of Wands is turning in reverse, where people see that there's a certain level of comfort and ease in your life, but at the same time, I feel like you're still working. You're still growing. You're still bringing a lot of good, strong, powerful, positive energy. But God is making space in your life to allow you to do that. And you'll see that as well too. And I think, I never want to pretend or act as if I'm the one with all the answers. As I said before, if you want answers, go to God. But I do feel like God has helped me and revealed things to me to share with all of you. And I feel like one question that some people will have is you say, okay, I've developed my relationship with God, but I still have hardships. There's always going to be challenges in life. It doesn't mean, if you have a relationship with God, it doesn't mean that you're just going to have no problems. It just means that you're not alone in it. and that he'll help you overcome anything. But people will have a relationship with God and then they'll just leave it at that. And then they'll kind of wonder, why isn't God making more space in my life or making things easier for me? You have to give something back. But if you have that relationship with God and then you actively go out there, you actively show love, show kindness, make that space for people, that's where things start to get smoother for you. It's compensation. Are you doing work for God? Are you doing work for the divine? Are you making the world a better place? Are you helping people? Are you showing people God's love? And you don't have to be one of those people who's out on the side of the road, yelling at people. That's not good. Don't ever preach hellfire and brimstone at people. Show people love. Show people kindness. And I think that's what people are assuming for you most of all, is yes, they're saying some things about your life, great things about your life, your commitment, your faith, your intelligence, but people are also assuming that the reason you seem so serene, so successful, so abundant, and have such an easy life, and I'll be honest, people are assuming you kind of have an easy life here, but you had to build yourself up to that capacity. It's like someone working 12 hours a day for 10 years to build a business, and now that business is flourishing, and they can just go on vacation all the time. And for some of you, this is what your life is going to be like. This is what you're manifesting. So if you're working really hard right now, keep going, because you will have that easy life. But I always recommend, once you have that easy life, relax, enjoy yourself, show gratitude for what God's given you, but also minister to others. But do it with compassion. Do it with love. Do it with genuineness and kindness. And I feel like people's assumptions of you are just going to continue to kind of feed into that. The reason this person is doing so well, the reason this person has so much love for others, the reason this person has so much understanding for others, is because of this connection. Because they're doing so much for the divine, for God, and for themselves, and for the world. I know this one got a little bit loftier here, but I do hope this was helpful for you, pile 3. If you're looking for just a straight kind of 3D reading, you can maybe check out piles 1 and 2, because those were much more kind of 3D focused. But this is definitely for those of you who are like, I would like to be an earth angel, or I would like to have a strong connection with God. I would like to show people God's love. This one is for you. It's beautiful, powerful energy. And I feel like we also got a little bit of a forecast about what's to come in for you. There's always going to be challenges in life, but you are going to have a very beautiful, abundant life. I think not only because you're putting in the work and really setting yourself up properly, but also because you are radiating an energy of love. You're not doing it for the money. You're not doing it for the accolades or your pride. You're doing it because you want to make people feel better. You want to show people what worked for you, which was God. And that's beautiful, pile 3. That's what I have for you. I do hope this resonated. I hope this is helpful for you. Once again, you can definitely check out the other piles if you want more details, but this is just what I had for pile 3. Beautiful energy. So that's what I had for you. So thank you so much once again. And until I see you all next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and God bless you.